Personal protection implies being proactive, that you are actually trying to prevent things from happening. Self-defense implies that you're already on the defensive, that someone has already attempted to make you a victim. I have met a lot of great individuals in my life so far. I've met legendary martial artists. I've had the honor and privilege of training with legends, literal legends. And that's some of the highest honors I've ever had in my life. And they eternally have my respect. And I still love the traditional martial arts. I still actively practice it and teach it every single week. But I can't sit here and just because of my love of it and say, you should do karate because it will make you a better fighter. You should do karate because it will make you better at defending yourself or using personal protection. I can't tell you that. I have a conscience. I can't do that. But I will tell you, traditional martial arts is fantastic. It's historical. It's aesthetic. It's beautiful. It teaches you movement principles. It's a way to gain self-mastery. People use yoga to get self-mastery. People, do all kinds of shit to find their way in their life and stuff. It's made me a better human being to learn martial arts, period. I would have been a worthless fuck if I hadn't had martial arts in my life. Guaranteed, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. But martial arts is not personal protection. So be very careful with what you expose yourself to and you choose to learn. Know that when you're going into a school to learn, traditional martial arts, karate, shorin-ryu, goju-ryu, whatever, that's what you're learning. Don't let them tell you, yes, this is great for self-defense. Sure, there are moves that could be good for self-defense, but it's the principle, the when and where and how to do it that matter. Not the thousands of repetitions that you do to even be somewhat skilled. It's not about skill, it's about principles, it's about being aware of your environment when it comes to personal protection. It's very irritating. It highly pisses me off to see people misrepresent what they do. And call it something else. It's not true. That's why I call overall everything I do warrior sciences, because everything that I do has come together to make me a better human being. And I believe being a warrior is a choice in life. And that means that you're a better man first and you're a warrior second. It doesn't matter if it's personal protection or you're law enforcement or you're military or you're a cage fighter or whatever. Be a good man first. Be a good human being first. And those kinds of things need to be outlined in everything, whether it's martial arts or personal protection. There are ways for that to apply, but when someone comes to you and they want to learn, or you go to someone and you legitimately want to learn how to protect yourself and your family, that's what you should get. Don't accept anything else. They should cover the psychology of not being a victim, the psychology of victims, the psychology, of criminals, how criminals choose their victims, how to be aware in different situations, what happens to the body, chemically, physically, in every which way, emotionally, whenever a threat is actually presented. Having drills to actually elicit those kind of responses. So that you know what happens when you get that, oh shit, deer in the headlights look when, somebody who's potentially my size, who's throwing a bomb at you and you're just, what the fuck do I do? That's what a personal protection instructor should be doing. Don't accept anything less than that. Educate yourself. Read the book, The Gift of Fear by Gavin de Becker. Every human being should fucking read that book. It's $5.95, $6.95 for soft cover or whatever. Can't be much more than that. It's one of the greatest books ever written. It has pre-incident indicators and everything else. There's another one on your children that he wrote called Protecting the Gift. I don't get any kind of, sponsorships or money for mentioning his name. I don't know who the fuck I am. But it doesn't change the fact that knowledge is very useful and vital in my opinion. But do your research, do your homework. Read things, read statistics in your area. Be aware of what happens. Listen to your family, friends, and neighbors when they say, man, somebody just got robbed down the street, This is what they did. This is what the cops did. Know the response time of your police officers in your area. Dialing 911 is not your first line of defense. You are the first line of defense. That's the bottom line. And if you have a concealed carry, fan-fucking-tastic. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Do you always have your gun on you? And if you say yes, you're not telling the truth. And if you say yes, you probably need mental help. That's the bottom line. No one has a gun on them all the time. It just doesn't happen. If you do, you must be paranoid. But learn how to use that weapon. Actually practice with that weapon. But learn how to use your hands. Most of all, learn how to use your head. Learn how to see things happening. I mean, on your fucking phone when you're walking through a store not paying attention and you run into the center kiosk, or you run into somebody because you're not paying attention. It's just like people getting car wrecks from fucking texting on their phone and shit. Pay attention is what you need to do. And some of this may sound rather harsh or brutal, hence, this video series is brutal truth because I'm not going to censor myself. I'm not very PC as it is because I'm passionate about it. I want people to actually be able to defend themselves proactively, to be able to protect themselves so they can bypass the defense. It doesn't do anything for you to learn. If you're a 125-pound female and you're learning how to block somebody like this, or just throw your arm up and that works in the training environment, then you're in the wrong training environment. If bad things don't happen in training, as in scenarios and uncomfortable situations, then you're not training properly in personal protection. So once again, please, understand that's the purpose of any of the personal protection videos, articles, or anything that has to do with personal protection that we put out, products or otherwise. And we're never going to sacrifice any of that for the sake of marketing or anything else. Once again, the only reason we're even using the term self-defense on the website or anything else is because, number one, the guy who creates my website tells me I have to. He knows I'm going to be pissed every time I see it because I believe in personal protection more than anything. It is actually what I focus on the most when it comes to training people. That's what I do the most seminars on. As far as weaponry and things like that, people saying, oh yeah, you train in knife fighting and all this other stuff. You ever seen anybody fight with a knife? There's no fighting. There's the guy getting stabbed and the guy doing the stabbing. And sometimes both people get cut. And somebody's most likely going to die. There are principles involved with using a blade or an improvised weapon and different things like that, but the principles are not any more complex than the principles of learning how to use your hands and doing it in a realistic way. It shouldn't take you 7 months to be able to pull off a palm strike. It really shouldn't. Within the first session, you should be able to palm strike very, very hard. It doesn't mean that you do it one time and all of a sudden it's mastered. But mastery isn't the goal. It's called being skilled enough to protect yourself. Everybody has jobs. 10 minutes. Spending 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes practicing your personal protection skills is worth it. Every time you get in the car and you put on your fucking seatbelt, you're practicing personal protection. Every time you make sure your kids are secure and everything else, you're practicing personal protection. Every time you check your doors 3 and 4 times a night just to make sure, because you thought your spouse did it, but they're jackasses, you're just practicing personal protection. And we can never be aware at all times. It just doesn't happen. But it's almost more important to catch yourself when you're unaware. If you can get in the habit of doing that, then that is golden. And that can teach you a million different things. Just changing your mindset a little bit could prepare you for situations that could potentially happen. Go through situation in your mind. What can you do? What can you do in these situations? What do you do in the event of, a tornado or something awful happens? Do you have things in your vehicle or things in your house in case you can't get to the store or some catastrophic event happens like a tornado, earthquake, or whatever. Do you have the ability to protect yourself? And that has to do with food, shelter, and water as well. So personal protection is about everything, not self-defense. Oh, shit, it's happening right now. Sure, you have to deal with that too, but hopefully we can do preventative measures. Just remember, you want to be proactive, not reactive, when it comes to your safety and your loved one's safety. And proactive means personal protection, not self-defense. So be very careful what you buy into in magazines, in DVDs, or the bullshit that you hear from the McDojo down the street that gives black belts to little fucking 5-year-olds. Be very, very careful with that.